Hey guys, welcome to week 14. This week we are going to complete our analysis and look into the American Civil War. We are going to have a lecture which will cover broadly the war from 1862 to 1865, and I have chose to focus on a couple of key battles: the Battle of Shiloh, the Battle of Gettysburg, of course a significant one which occurred in July of 1863. We'll look at Sherman's March to the Sea. I've also provided for you a supplemental video on that. Indeed, Sherman's March to the Sea between 1864 and 1865 is incredibly important, as that really helps to bring about an end of the war in the Western theater, while at the same time during that period 1864 to 65 Grant is pursuing Lee, and he will eventually pin Lee down in Petersburg and eventually force Lee to surrender at Appomattox, which he does in April of 1865. And so there's a number of things that we're going to be looking at in the lecture, but because there's only so much time for the lecture, there's other things that I also want you to look at. And so for this week I've provided for you some links and some web pages that will send you to various places for you to look at information on some of the other battles, including one that's an animated map of the Battle of Vicksburg. There are indeed other particular maps that are animated on different battles, but Vicksburg is an incredibly important one. And the Battle of Vicksburg occurs in 1863, and it ends right after the day Gettysburg ends on July 4th. And Vicksburg is an incredibly significant victory for the United States. And so please take a look at that. Indeed, 1863 was a turning point in the war, as you will find out. So just dive into all the material for this week, whether it be film or lecture or web pages. For those of you who have already read chapter 15 in your textbook, then you have no additional reading other than an article that I want you to read on a group of people known as the Copperheads, who were pretty much anti-war, anti-Lincoln. They were known as peace Democrats. They wanted to see a war come to an end. And the reason why I highlight the Copperheads is because there's this sort of notion that the Union had, unanimous support from most in the North. And the truth of the matter is that there were many people in the North who opposed the Lincoln administration, who opposed the war, and wanted to see the thing come to an end. Some even went so far as to argue that the South should be brought back in and the Constitution should be amended to protect slavery. And so just want to broaden our understanding of the realities of support for this war. Okay? This week you do have some discussion board questions you do have to address. There is no response that you need because there's a number of questions I'm asking you to deal with, and I expect you to hopefully take most of this week to try and address those. I apologize. And so get those up by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. And you'll be doing all right. Other than that, definitely be working on your paper by this point. If you haven't started, you definitely need to do that. That's going to be coming due pretty soon, and you want to make sure that the paper is going to be a solid piece of scholarship that you've been working on, hopefully this whole time, but that you've put some good thought into. I'm definitely looking for something that has been edited. I'm looking for something that has strong support, and not just web-based sources. I want to see some books that you've looked at, perhaps even some articles. Indeed, the MSJC library has access to a number of different articles. Academic Search Premier can help you do that. Okay, and for those of you who may not know, but you need to know, there will be required a bibliography at the end of your paper, and this does not count as one of the pages that I've required. This is in addition to. And if you're not familiar with how to make a bibliography, it's super simple. In fact, Word will build it for you, and if you want, I can kind of walk you through that, or you can go to YouTube and there's a number of videos there that will show you how to go about making a bibliography in Word. It's very simple. It will just ask you to put information in, and then it will format it for you. So make sure that you'll get that as part of your paper. Alright guys, I think that's all I have for you this week. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. Otherwise, as always, go in peace, be warm and filled, and may the force be with you. Alright, be blessed.